I'm glad we got you in here, man. This is gonna be fun.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm excited. We got to do this. Me and you've worked together forever. We were, competitors, but always,
Friendly competitors.
Working the same streets, and so I'm excited for you to be here. So, why don't we just start at the beginning, man? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up here in Dallas.
Yeah.
North Dallas. My parents lived paycheck to paycheck. Kind of lived outside of our means. I grew up on the corner of Preston Road and Lakehurst.
Yeah.
In a little farmhouse built in 1918, not even AC'd like originally. And God, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. My dad always told me when they went to go, my mother's aunt, which I'll get into this story later, but my mother's great aunt or something out of Houston, Aunt Pauline, that was her wedding gift to my mother. Pretty nice, bought that $85,000 house, and it was the drummer. My dad said when he walk in to look at it, there's all these like ladies or girls passed out on the sofa. Said the whole fireplace is full of, roaches from smoking marijuana, and goes up the stairs and all the gold records and everything. And in the front yard, there was 2 broke down Maseratis on blocks with flat tires, and it was the guy's actually still alive. He's a drummer. He was for Ozzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Before, what was it? The Black Sabbath or
Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
And then
he was the drummer for them.
No, he wasn't the drummer for Black Sabbath. Could have been. That's Bill Ward. He lives in England.
Yes, he's English.
Is he?
Yes, he was English, and so that's why he had his gold records kind of tucked back. They're not like Americans where you go put it right when you walk in the front door. Yeah. It was like up in a private hallway. I don't. He was English, but it wasn't Ward. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look these facts up.
But I he actually is still alive and still.
Yeah.
Still, I don't know if he's still like outperforming, but
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, and my dad was like, when first time I go to mow the yard, it's like chest high back there, like no one's mowed it.
Yeah.
Get back there. And then the guy had like this was back when it's still really illegal. He had a pot growing operation, right there on Preston.
Sure.
Just from where he's throwing the seeds out or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, but
just happened.
little Dallas history. So I went to Christ the King.
Yeah.
My grandmother paid for that. Then went on scholarship to Jesuit work grant. So it was a good upbringing to where I got to rub shoulders and see, kind of how the other half lived and whatever.
Yeah.
But it definitely caused a lot of like issues at my house growing up. My mother's very like keeping up with the Joneses, outward appearance.
Yeah.
And so I kind of thought to myself, I'm never going to have get myself in that position.
Yeah.
And so needless to say, me and my wife still own the first house we bought when we got married in like 2010.
Yeah.
And, it's a little right over there by Hockaday, probably like a Fox and Jacobs. It's nothing special. We just keep adding on,
Yeah.
We keep going down the back driveway, adding another, taking the old garage, making it. So we just kind of live simply there. And
yeah.
And then close to high school, it was at high school graduation. I was at a party and everybody's drinking beer and stuff. And I sat there and talked to this family friend or older gentleman. And after talking for an hour or so, he's like, well, tell you what, if you're interested in commercial real estate, why don't you come intern for me in the summer? And so I came back, I went to Texas Tech, and then I would come back at Christmas break. And then in the summer, I think freshman year and sophomore year, and I worked for Phil Baker when it was Baker Commercial out there in Las Colinas, doing office project leasing and tenant rep.
Yeah.
And man, I always blamed him for me having to, being in this business. He gave me the bug, and I saw how those guys operated, and, kind of, then I go to tech, and my mother she worked on her feet. She was at Caldwell & Son for probably 30 years there across from SMU in the boys department. And this family from Lubbock would fly in and get their son, their boys' clothing there for, they'd come into Caldwell, and she said, my son's out there now, and you need to get him a job, or, get something for him to do so he doesn't get in trouble. And so David Wilkerson called me.
Yeah.
And I worked for them all through college, like at least 2 to 3, 4 hours a day, and then full time in the summer. And I washed their cars, like, they, all the brothers and everything, they had, Tahoes. I think at the time there was a deal on Chevys or something, and they all had either a Tahoe or a Suburban because you couldn't play favorites.
Yeah.
And then their father, old man Wilkerson, John Wilkerson, he had the Lincoln Town car. That was the finest vehicle ever made. It John Wilkerson's eyes. And so he'd have the car for about 2 years, and he'd give it to his wife, and he'd get a new one, And I saw, hey, the Ford's gonna stop making the town car. I said, John, you need to get you a Lexus.
Yeah.
Dude, you just need to get a Lexus. Oh, God damn, I love those town cars. It's the finest car America's ever made, And it's not flashy like a Cadillac, but, Well, he finally goes and test drives a Lexus and buys one, and he was sold on it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, holy shit, I should have been driving one of these for years. I'm like, I told you. So then they kind of transitioned to Lexus SUVs and Lexus vehicles.
Sedans.
Right. And then my wife's, she went to tech too. She was a year younger. She's from Dallas. We didn't really know each other here in Dallas, but she was a year. She was like a year below. She's a year younger, but 2 years below me at school. So she finally gets around to graduating. And I told David, I want to move back to Dallas because that's where my future wife's going. And so they were really nice to me. They said, all right, go to Dallas, go interview, and we'll keep you on salary. And my whopping salary at that time was like $25,000. I think it was like $700 and something every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So enough to get by.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Back then.
And then I got 50-50 splits on any commission. Which half the stuff I was leasing was there, so I always thought that was kind of like, why do you get 50% of it? But anyway, so I came back here, interviewed. I called Phil Baker, and I was like, I'd interviewed at a few places, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm gonna call Phil, see what And I go, man, these guys have been working for. They own all industrial, so I'd like to come to Dallas and have them as a client. If you wanted to do industrial in the city of Dallas, where would you go? He goes, well, I would go to Robert Lynn. And he goes, we were going to partner with them. It wasn't NAI, it was some other, he was going to run like the office part or merge. And they ended up not doing that. And he goes, let me call George Dutter. I'm like, George Dutter? Who the hell's George Dutter? He goes, let me call George Dutter. Give me about 5 minutes and then call George. Okay. So wait, pick up phone, call George. And George goes, how long would it take you to get in here to interview? Well, I can go throw a suit on. I'll be up there in, 10, 15 minutes. And so started the interview process. So,
yeah.
And they had hired somebody because your brother had left.
Yeah.
This is like 2008.
Yeah.
Early 2008. And I think your brother had left. That Robert Lynn had just moved to the building they're at now off of, they were at the one on Webb's Chapel, whatever it is, the Youngton property. Can't think what it was called.
The Club Corp building?
Yep. Club Corp. They just moved.
So, we moved into the old Robert Lynn space at the Club Corp building.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember that. So George, then maybe somebody didn't want to, I don't know if it was George or somebody didn't the tests were mediocre and stuff, but I had to double interview with everybody, and it was time consuming for sure.
They got a process they run.
Definitely got a process, and thank God I didn't have anything else better to do. So, but I'm like, let's get this thing going, time's a burning,
Yeah.
And I was originally interviewing for, I think it was Scoop, maybe Stansel. It was, can't remember at this point. It was somebody else like to like work on their team or be a partner or whatever. And during the interview process, George, what do you think about having your own market? That'd be great. Well, go drive it. And it's like kind of downhill, I'll give you the streets and everything. So I get in the car and go drive it. First thing I hit was Regal Row. And I'm like, when I was in high school, we used to go down to the Trinity River bottom and go have keg parties down there. Well, I'm like, I'm right at home.
Yeah.
I already know this area. I know this area. I know Round Table. I know Regal Row. And I was like, man, I could ask for a better market, or a better territory. Like if I were to pick any, that was the one I would pick. I love it. And, I think I started that summer, like June or July, I started training. And then 6 months later, so kind of hit the ground running and, there it is.
What made you decide to go to Texas Tech?
Well, I was kind of a hooligan, and my mother was just like going to kill me probably, or string me up. And so I didn't even apply. It was open admissions then.
Oh yeah, like I
was like, I may just take summer off, or I may just take a year off. My mom's like, you're not taking a fucking year off, and literally woke up. She put me in potluck for, you had to stay on campus. Yep.
Yeah.
So I stayed at Sneed.
Yeah.
And ended up like probably 5 or 6, or no, maybe more than that, 7 or 8 guys from friends of mine from Jesuit went out there. And we all, like a bunch of dumbasses, all got in the un-air AC dorm because we all went potluck, and it turned out pretty good because my roommate, I got assigned to a roommate, Malaysian guy out of Houston, and he had a Trans Am, like a souped up Trans Am, and he was just never there. He had his own apartment off. He had that just to satisfy the school.
Yeah.
And so he was never there. So I basically had my own room. And, not bad.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Good little setup.
Right. But yeah, like my parents, my dad went to North Texas. My mother did not go to school or go to college. And but we're going to, your ass is going to go to college. And I remember it was for my freshman year, for the tuition portion was $1,700 for a full, it was a little over $100 a credit hour, and then by the time I graduated, it was like 20, and I don't, God knows what it is now, but it's amazing how more expensive it's gotten.
It's, I think it's about $15,000 a year on the tuition side, but I think all in you're going to spend.
Oh, I think it's a lot more.
I think it's 15 per semester.
Yes. Yeah. So it's 30
a year.
Right.
And I think all in, you better plan for about high 40s.
Yeah.
Low 50s.
Yeah.
So
it's still got cheap housing. Like I'd never lived in an apartment my entire life. I've never lived in an apartment because, we'd always have some house with like 10 dudes living in it.
Yeah.
I never paid in Lubbock more than $250 in rent.
I lived in, I always lived in apartments.
You did?
I don't think I ever lived in a house. I never lived in a house. Me and Todd had an apartment, the Woodcrest Apartments.
God, where were those?
It's
wait, you and Todd Hubbard?
Yeah, we were.
I didn't know y'all were roommates.
Yeah, that's how you. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so Todd. So when I moved into, I was in Weymouth, and there was these
Chitwood and Weymouth.
Chitwood, Weymouth.
Well,
and I was in Weymouth, and these guys next to me were from Brownwood, and hit it off with them, became buddies with them, and they they ended up transferring to A&M, but we all became they stayed for like 2 years, and then one of them they transferred to A&M, and but I remember my sophomore year of spring break, we all go to Padre, and Todd comes down from Brownwood to go to Padre with us, and me and Todd just kind of hit it off. I was like, so what are you up to, man? Like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm going to go to Tech and get my master's. I go, well, who are you going to live with? He's like, I don't know. I go, well, do you want to live together? And so that was it, man.
I didn't even know. What did you get a master's in?
I don't know.
Huh. Business schools.
sports.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't even think it was business related.
It might not be. It might have been like marketing or something.
Yeah.
He ended up, working for the Cotton Kings. And
I even thought of that.
Yeah.
That was like, it was like a boxing match with a little hockey thrown into it, you know? Yeah. That was great.
And so, but yeah, no, me and Todd lived in an apartment for like 2.5 years together. And, we used to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater all day long. And, the name of the apartment was Woodcrest. So the name of the entity that owns our ranch is called the Hawks of Woodcrest.
Where was Woodcrest?
Okay, so it was out past the, where On the Border was on Slide on the other side of the loop from the mall?
Yeah.
Like where the Barnes & Noble was?
Yeah.
So if you just go across Slide, across the street back there are some apartments. So
it was like y'all were like hoity-toity back there. It was like the rich part of town over there.
It's getting a little nice over there.
It's getting a little hot stepper over there,
Yeah, so, but yeah, so we lived over there for like 2.5 years, man. So he had gone back to Brownwood, or he worked at the Cotton Kings for, who was our coach 2 years ago? Not the basketball coach, not Chris Beard, the one after Chris Beard. I can't remember his name. The one that he
wasn't there long, right?
No, because he had an affair with his twin brother's wife.
Wow, that kind of screws it up.
Mark, I think it's Mark something. Anyways, that guy ran the Cotton Kings, and Todd worked for him.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Todd hated him, couldn't stand him. And but anyways, Todd left, went back to Brownwood, and then was about to take a job in El Paso.
Okay, yeah.
And I was like, bro,
don't do that.
Don't do that. Call my brother. I don't know what they really do, but them dudes figured some shit out. So
how much older is Jeff?
Jeff's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So
like me and my brother, he'd be too old for you to like even jack with you in high school. You're like, because he's about to grad. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you're the annoying little brother.
Yeah. So I got to give Jeff credit on that. He took me to everything.
Did he?
Man.
That's nice.
He took me everywhere, and so that's me and him were really close growing up, and we had separate bedrooms, but we stayed in the same bedroom, like because we were always wanting to be around each other, and
y'all buddies.
Yeah, and so so Jeff hired Todd and sent him to Fort Worth. That's the story.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because I know somebody had that territory before Todd, and like, there's no buildings out here. You can't make a living. I forget who that was, but that was the story I'd always heard. And, and that Todd had, kind of like took a loan from his grandma or something. It was like,
his grandma and grandpa.
It was make it or break it, you know, and he made it for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. That's kind of what you got to have. That's how I was.
Have you seen Todd's video of him falling on the ice?
I'd like to.
You need to ask him about it next time. Then he sent me one the other day.
Really?
He was pulling his trash cans out of his new house. And he opened up the trash can, and this raccoon jumps out.
Now you talk about the place like kind of like with the woods behind it.
The one he just moved into.
Okay,
like he just moved into a new house, and the camera caught it. Like
that's too funny. Holy shit!
He's like, ah!
Well, imagine the poor raccoon.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no. So Todd and I are roommates, and that was the story, So,
Todd's such a good down to earth, guy, and one of my clients had we always called him Crazy Keith, and so he calls me one day. He goes, "Man, I've got a real good kid y'all should talk to. And I need you to help. You've made money selling my buildings and buying stuff." He goes, "I need you to do me a favor." Okay, I'll talk to him. No promises. And he comes in, kind of get his story, kind of similar to Todd's. And I'm like, get him in there. Interview. I don't really do much. I just, kind of make the introduction and get him kind of hooked on it. But that was Jeff Jackson.
Yeah.
And so they're like two peas in a pot. They're very similar background. And,
mm-hmm.
I think he's from East
Texas.
Yeah, he's from East Texas, but just great guy, but hungry, I mean, there's no you want that person that has no alternative really.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm either gonna do this, make money, or I don't have a backup plan.
Yeah.
And I didn't have one. I always felt fortunate because I knew since senior year in high school when I started working at Phil Baker's, I just did the college, went through the motion. I already knew what I wanted to do, you know, and I was doing it for the Wilkersons. I did their banking and like, they let me do a little bit of everything, you know, like a little property management. Hey, this is how you know, what you're looking for on a roof. This is what you're looking for on a foundation, you know, just a little bit of everything. They had some retail. They had a bunch of like, you know, from like the SNLs and like where they bought it for 5 cents on the dollar type stuff. And like, it was probably still vacant, you know, or just, there was a reason it was cheap, you know, like office buildings in downtown Lubbock. The hell you going to do, you know, we'd have some church in there for 6 months, you know, just, it was cool. I got to do a little bit of everything. I got to do some sales. I got to do a lot of leasing and, you know, you got to have that hunger and you got to be fortunate enough somebody to kind of show you what to do and do it right, you know?
Well, that probably translated into being a pretty good broker on the street, right? Because you already know all the, like, you know, for me, that's where, you know, I kind of started with all the property management. And then when I was done, here you go, John Lancaster, you can have it all. And that's kind of where that property management division started. They hired John over from TIG.
Right.
And I gave him all of my portfolio that I was working on.
I didn't know you were doing the management.
Yeah.
What in God's name would possess you to do that?
Well, I never wanted to commit to being a broker because I was a musician.
I see.
I was like, I know what I can make being a broker. And I know if I taste that, I'll give up on music. So I held out for a long time.
Really? I always kind of wondered that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I didn't start till I was 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you started, you caught up quick.
Yeah.
You got up quick. But I've always wondered how you do that and then like managing all your business because I know you're real entrepreneurial.
Yeah. So I was, you know, I had moved back from Lubbock, was living in a house with some buddies, and we kind of pissed the neighborhood off. Like we were a year out of college, like first year out of college. We're still in college.
Right.
And so anyways, my buddy was like, hey, let's move to Deep Ellum. I was like, well, I got to find a place to put my gear, you know, because I'm playing guitar just 24 hours a day. That's all I'm doing. So I just got the Dallas Observer out and I found this building on Commonwealth. So I go down there on a Sunday morning. This guy's like, yeah, I'll lease you this room. You know, it looks something kind of not as nice as this, but you know, it's like an office, you know?
Right.
But, you know, some padding on the walls or whatever. And he's like, you know, I was like, so I can come here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
As loud as I want.
All right. You know, smoke as many cigarettes as I want.
Right.
Or whatever.
Or whatever you want to smoke.
Yeah.
Right.
And, yeah, I was like, God, I wish I'd known about this in high school. I would have rented a room then.
Right. I would have been living in here.
Yeah.
Right.
And, so at that point, I start running that, and you know, Jeff bought the building, I bought the business, and then Jeff and Mark start buying all these buildings, and Jeff's like, "Hey, do you want to property manage these?" And I was like, "Sure." So I mean, I used to.
Oh, that's right.
They bought Motor Circle
with the guy
Dennis Lord.
Dennis Lord's like
and Greg Langston.
That's what I was trying to remember. Holy crap.
And so they bought that. They bought a bunch of other buildings down in Design District. They just kind of started buying things. And then when they bought Regal Plaza on Regal Row, that flex thing.
Yeah.
Jeff was like, hey, do you want to manage this? And I was like, man, I don't. Like, I think I'm done. And this was probably about 4 or 5 years into management.
They almost lost their ass on that one, didn't they?
They ended up doing pretty good though. But
on that one?
Yeah. I looking back, I wish I'd have known more. I would have demanded part of the fee because I was the anchor tenant because I ended up leasing 20,000 feet.
Yeah, I remember you're
so I leased
middle section.
I opened up a second studio in the back of Regal Plaza, opened up 20,000 more feet of studio space.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so that was probably 2005 and I opened that up. Then Jeff sold it to this guy out of California. And then Jeff started Mercer Company and was like, hey, you should come over and I was running Mercer Metals that was over in Brookhollow too. I moved it down to Brookhollow and
their own directors or
chancellor
yeah.
in one of Jeff's buildings.
Wow.
And then so it was funny. It came down to the studio. That studio on Regal wasn't making much money because the guy that took it over, he tried to hose me on he would, they had just repaved the parking lot. And then when he bought it, he repaved it again. And he sent me my pro rata share of the bill. I was like, this is a capital expenditure. This is not a repair.
I know about property management, buddy.
Yeah. So we would get in these big fights. And then my power was always messed up. I was like, man, the power it's more expensive here than it is at my Commonwealth facility. And the air conditioners are so much more efficient. What's going on? Well, I figured out who was that company that was in that big building on Regal Row. What was that guy's name? Jeff repped him a couple times. And
Rexall?
And then it became the clothing store that just sold here 2 years ago or whatever. But
God, I remember that guy.
His name was like Steve something.
And then he had one on the back. Yes, he had the restaurants.
Yes.
God, and he had the one, he built that new building. It's the county on the back on the round table.
Yep.
I cannot remember.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
And anyways, they had a space in my 20,000 foot. And it was like it was like a little data center at the time.
No, that dude, he did all of those value pack coupons you get in the mail.
Yes.
That's what he did. He sold that stuff. And then that guy was like, he didn't go to college. He's genius.
He
made it crush. Yeah.
And well, anyways, they were draining. I was on their power bill the whole time. Well, I finally figured this out. And I was like, well, hey man, I ain't paying you my power bill. And so we got in this big fight. I ran up a bill like $50,000. I was like, I ain't paying you. Not until you trace this and reimburse me.
I guess the AC probably be a lot better.
But they had like some kind of data center component in their office that they were draining a ton of power on.
Or printers or something.
Yeah. And so anyways, my renewal came up and I just started brokering. And I'd made my first deal and I'd made like $3,000. And I was like,
I'd rather do this than rent rooms.
Yeah. So he came at me on the renewal and I was like, I'll do a 1-year renewal because we just fixed the power. We just fixed the power and I need to know if this thing's profitable. I'll run it for a year. I'll do 1 more year. And he goes, nope, 5-year only. And this was when the world was in hell. This is like right after GFC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just went,
you can have it.
Peace. And my property manager at the time took it over.
Really?
And he ran it to the ground. Yeah, I was like, hey man, I wouldn't do this. This is not, you don't have the money to sustain this if it goes wrong. And so.
You remember, there's still a guy back there.
It's been like 5 or 6 iterations of studios.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, there's another one in that it's not 2-story, it's a taller tilt wall. It actually is 2-story on the inside over there on Empire Place.
Yeah. I was there Tuesday night.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So
I play a little music, and then like before we had kids, I would go over there and like I helped him get that. One of my first deals ever was helping him get it refinanced. So I didn't really get a real estate fee, but my buddy that did the loan, tipped me out a little something. But I thought, man, that's got to be a pain in the ass to like keep up, and you're dealing with musicians, not like they're like on time payments and you know what I mean? Like,
hey, well, it's fragmented payments, right? The drummer pays you his 50,
right.
And then the guitar player pays you his 50, and then you're like, okay, where's the singer?
Right.
Well, man, I don't know. I paid my part, and I was like, yeah, this ain't how this works.
It's not like a sublease deal.
Yeah.
Like, who's on the lease here? Yeah.
And so, when we shut our main location down 2 years ago, and Justin, who ran my studios for me for 10 years, he has a room at the Envoy building.
Yep.
So we.
Do you remember the Bass Studios across the way that burnt? It ended up turning into, I think, which is ironic. It was like literally right next to the fire department.
Yeah.
And it burnt.
Yes.
So I remember when I first was, I was out making my initial rounds, and I went in there and I was like, dude, this place is freaking beautiful. It was a legit recording studio, and it was big enough to have like, full like 10-piece band in there. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Bass or Bass Studios or something?
Boss. Was it?
Or something like that.
Yeah. No, I remember this. What's interesting too is, have you ever been in Murphy Webster's building on Regal?
Oh, yeah.
Have you been back there and seen the studio?
Yeah.
And like his office is the recording area
cool.
of the studio. So,
I mean, I just don't like, do people still do that? Like,
yeah, there's a, we actually, so I actually recorded our album that we put out 2 years ago over off of Dawn Drive. There's a little studio back there. And
Dawn. Yeah, like Apricot, Dawn.
Yeah, all back over there. Know. There's a little building back there, studio. And then it's funny, while I was in there recording, it came on the market for sale as an investment. Well, I was going to buy it, but it was one of those Marcus and Millichap groups where I was like, hey, okay, what do you want? We want this. I go, okay, here you go. Hey, Jeremy, we had some other offers coming. I was like, fuck you. We agreed to a deal.
Right.
You fucking assholes do this all the time to me. I'm so done doing business with you.
Right. They just want to, get both sides of it. Or...
Oh, yeah. And I wasn't even asking for a fee. I was like, but they just like, and they do that. Like, we agreed to a deal. Like, we signed an LOI and we were negotiating the contract. They go, oh, hey, another offer came in. I go get fucked.
Right.
I was like, I don't need this building. So
yeah, that's
Jack Crow bought it though. So
seems like a common occurrence.
Yeah.
So what kind of music are you playing?
We doing like country rock type stuff. So it's
because I thought previously you were doing like kind of hard.
Oh yeah, that's
metal, death metal.
Yeah, that's home base for sure.
Right.
But it doesn't really draw the crowd at mid 40s. So
I can understand that.
So we play 5 to 6 times a year or something like that.
Who else is in the band?
Buddy of mine named Jimmy Lancaster that I grew up with.
Not related to John.
Not related to John. His brother Jason. Our bass player is Justin, who ran my studios, and he actually manages property here for us now. And then we've kind of had a rotating door lately on the guitar. We got a guy Larry playing for us right now, but he's probably going to be done after the next couple shows.
Lead or
yeah, he's a phenomenal lead player, but he's kind of fading out on gigging. And so we have another guy named Tiago that plays with us. So
you're actually out gigging, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I got 2 shows. So like we've played the NAI spring concert the last 2 years in a row.
That's funny.
Yeah, so it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I picked up guitar because I couldn't afford cable or anything out in Lubbock.
Yeah.
And I went to a pawn shop, I don't remember, in like it was a black guitar, like Johnny Cash kind of looking guitar. And you look down the neck, maybe it was an Ibanez or something, some real cheap. You look down from the neck, you look down and it looked like a railroad track, made your fingers it was just a acoustic guitar, made your fingers just bleed. But I learned on that one, and you don't know any difference when you first kind of start with it.
So we have this band, and so back to Lubbock. My first roommate in Lubbock was my buddy Jimmy, who's in the band with me. Me and Jimmy went to junior high and high school together, and we were friends for a long time. Jimmy ended up transferring to A&M with the guys from Brownwood.
Okay.
And so me, Jimmy, and Todd have been like super best friends for a long time. And so we write a lot of songs. So I'll do a lot of the music end of it. We'll all I'll bring in a riff or two, and then we'll all start collaborating with it, right? But when it comes to lyrics, Todd writes all the lyrics.
Hubbard?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
I'll have to.
Him, and we have a buddy named Micah that me and Jimmy grew up with.
So Todd get a piece of the action?
We haven't negotiated his deal yet, so we got.
I'll call Todd, see if he needs a broker or something to get a fee on that, or
You need an agent, Todd.
Yeah, if he goes like one of these goes triple platinum or something.
or
whatever.
So
I've one of my buddies lives in Nashville, and he was kind of telling me, he's not in that industry, but like, why is country music so goddamn shitty? Like, it all sounds like just crap's all same stuff. And he's like, oh, because the writers, like, he goes, you gotta understand, there's like 10 writers that wrote every song.
Yeah.
Like, and like, now that, you can like hear them, you're like, all the George Strait, there's like all just really classically written country songs, and like the formation of them and like the arrangement of them.
Yeah.
And he's like, they can't make any money now. So they're like, they've made all the money they need to. They just like to do it. But I'm not going to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can't make any money because of like the iTunes and everything. Like, there's just
You got to make it touring, really.
You have to tour, right?
Yeah.
And that's why you've got like the Stones will be touring until they're like 110, or they may already be dead. It may just be AI generated, but, or they have to tour because that's the only way they can really make money.
No, I think that's where it's where concert tickets are so high now.
Right. I've often wondered what those things net. Like obviously, like you got the mega like Taylor Swift stuff, but just like we go up to Choctaw. And they have a really nice little theater.
I love that theater.
That theater's so great.
I've seen Chris Stapleton there twice.
We went to that.
That's phenomenal.
It was like a couple months ago, right?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I haven't been in a couple months, but
maybe he's going.
This is a couple years ago. I'd been twice. So.
Yeah, because my wife wanted to go to that, and if you play a little bit, they'll comp you. Like I don't really gamble.
Yeah.
My wife does, and play slots, and like it's free tickets.
Yeah.
And it's really nice.
Hey, Choctaw is a great value. I can't stand Windstar. Windstar's terrible.
I can't either.
But Choctaw, like they at least like someone that designed Choctaw said, "Hey, maybe we should go to Vegas and see how they do it."
Right.
And like no one at Windstar did
It's
that.
a real building. We're not just going to make a big tent and just keep adding on to it and make it a circuit.
Yeah. It's
definitely a real structure. It's a real it's a 100-year asset. It's a nice
and the
building.
addition is non-smoking too, which is nice.
Oh yeah. Yep. Or the new side. Hotel and all that.
Yeah. And so I'm a fan of Choctaw.
We'll literally just go up there and they get some pretty good, pretty good acts that I've never understood how, because I'll even well, maybe they're just like playing in Dallas, but no, they just like come there to play Choctaw.
No, I'd always check their concert calendar. It's almost the same amount of time for me to drive to Choctaw from Prosper than it is to drive to Dos Equis.
Oh yeah,
in Fair Park, like getting out of there.
It's
fucking horrible.
Yeah,
like
you take the dart rail. Then like last time we tried to do that, the fucking thing stopped. It just goes to City Place. Then you got to take a $50 cab ride from City Place down there. I'm like, I should have just Ubered from the damn house.
Yeah. What was the point?
Right.
No, I was looking on there the day, and they get a lot of diverse acts. Like I was looking at so like we went over Christmas. Me and my whole family went and saw Creed and Seven Dust.
I saw that they were playing.
Yeah, we went to that show, and I was
good.
I was looking at my son. He's starting to play guitar a lot now, and he started getting into Chevelle a lot. And I looked up. I was like, oh, Chevelle's playing there in like 2 weeks, And so
I always keep it on the radar. They don't give a shit about what I think. I pay the bill or the credit card or whatever. But my wife's got the cops. I'm like, hey, call your host, see if you can get us a couple tickets for this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They used to do it. The first time I went up there, I can't remember who was playing, but me and my friend went, and they used to do food next door. Did you ever go when they did the food? It was like unbelievable. Like, is this all free? Yeah. And it wasn't crowded, and it was great food. Multiple open bars. Like, it's like the little convention room.
Yeah.
Next door. And I can't believe they do all that for, it's not like my wife spends a whole lot of money there.
Yeah.
To my knowledge. To my knowledge. If I figured out, I'd be like, God damn, I could have bought the damn thing. I could have built my own arena up there.
Yeah. No, it's, I'm a big fan of Choctaw. It's, if you want to catch a concert, I think the venue only holds like 3,000, 4,000 people.
That's what I was guessing. It's like 325.
Yeah. And so, there's not a bad seat in
there's not a bad seat. It's a little steep on that upper, they always seat the comp to people, you don't want to get knocked over the damn railing, but we love it going up there.
Yeah.
Of course, it would close tomorrow if, like they're building, I think they're planning on building more up there. And I'm like, who's going to finance that? Like, if they legalized the gambling here, which at some point I think they will.
Well, they're voting on it November 4th.
Right. But, but I think then it's still got to be the state.
Well,
you're saying the state is.
The state is.
If we ever get
and then they have to change the state constitution for it to happen.
But you also got to get the Democrats back from wherever they are. I think they're in Chicago now. They have quorum or whatever. But if that legalizes, I would assume that stuff up there would shut the very next day.
I think it'd be pretty tough go. Isn't that the whole play that the Aldersons are trying to pull with the Texas Stadium site? That's supposed to be a casino. Like,
right.
Right. So
right. I think I don't really have any problem with it, but it's going to be one of those things like destination, like they're going to like pick the winner of it. I think there's only going to be like one or two of them.
They're only going to allow 10 licenses.
Right.
Throughout the state.
Can you imagine the fight over that?
I mean, like, I want to open a casino. Like, why can't I do this?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So there'd be lawsuits over that. It's like, who gets this, and I get they don't want it like Reno or Vegas where you got them like slot machines in the grocery stores and,
Right.
It's all for the children. All the money will go to the children.
Yeah.
And to the school funds. And, it's all for the children. Like, are you going to vote no against the children?
Yeah. How dare you?
Right.
What kind of person are you? No, I thought, so when they had the voting on, so Dan Patrick is like the big, like, he's the big bad guy in all this. He does the lieutenant governor.
I know he's a lieutenant governor. Yeah.
He doesn't want any of this. And he was the one that was trying to get rid of all the vape shops and all that stuff.
Oh, really?
And then at the 11th hour, Greg Abbott was like, he had allowed it to keep going. And
right.
So they were really, this happened, 60 days ago. They were just really pissed off at each other or whatever.
Right.
So I thought once Greg Abbott did that, I was like, okay, this is a sign that this might get legalized. Because I think with casinos, you got to have the weed. They all go hand in hand. Vegas has got it. Oklahoma's got it. Like,
well, it's completely, I have my father-in-law's business partner took his profit. They own Elm Fork Shooting Range here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
It's a long story, but they've obviously done well. They turned it around. I don't know if you remember, it was a just complete rundown shithole when it was the Winchester or whatever, that little family that had it. And it's very profitable, and the city shares in that revenue. And so anyway, his business partner on that has made, like, in my opinion, it's like Disneyland for big boys.
Yeah.
It's a high game fenced ranch. Right up there by the Tiger King. It's in Wynnewood.
Oh, okay.
And, we go up there for family reunions and we do different things. He has it set up. It's like every toy and event, like gun range. It's just everything you could ever want to do, you know? And he's got the staff to do it in the lodge, and it's just fun, And we take all the kids up there. It could sleep. I think it's about 40 people we'll have up there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just wonderful. And they have literally just, my wife's family has a huge family.
Yeah.
We got kids everywhere and nephews and nieces, and you can go fishing, whatever. But the weed, it's all taken over. Like you're out to ride around in four-wheelers or whatever. God dang, I keep smelling skunk. And I finally asked the guy that runs the place, I go, is there like a weed, grow house for him? He's like, oh shit, yeah. And he's like, they legalized it, but they never like put any regulation or department or any. So it's all Chinese mafia basically. Up there.
The Chinese have been aggregating a bunch of land in Oklahoma. Additionally, where Oklahoma really screwed up with the weed licensing was that the barrier to entry was $2,500.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like $1,200. Yeah, it was very minimal.
So like everybody could get a weed
one time.
license. Yeah, and so I think,
and I don't think there's any regulation on how much you can grow and how you sell it. And
it's pretty Wild West.
It is Wild West, and they're more armed than the constables are. They won't even go out. They're not going to go check on it. It's like not even worth it. You know?
What's interesting is I had a weed tenant in one of my buildings in Oklahoma, and my insurance skyrocketed. And it really comes down to the fact that they're all dealing in cash.
Right.
And the insurance company perceives it as risk to getting a theft, right? So someone's going to break into the building, vandalize it, steal the cash, right? So I just sold two of the buildings that I had a 4-building little package here. And I sold 2 of the buildings in the middle, and one of them was a weed tenant. And I mean, we're talking about 38,000 feet.
Of weed?
No. 6,000 feet of weed in 38,000 total feet, multi-tenant site. Okay. But separately platted buildings, 4 of them. I sold 2 of the buildings off. My insurance costs went down $45,000 a year. That's how bad they jacked it.
What?
Yes. It was wild.
So you were paying 90?
I was paying like $60,000 a year on the insurance. And
like what, almost $2
almost $2 a foot.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Good Lord.
So, and then, I mean, theoretically you can take the lease and say, well, hey, your use caused this.
Right,
but
right.
Try to go absorb that. Like it's,
that's crazy.
So anyways, no more marijuana buildings for me.
I had a customer in Colorado when they legalized it there. He was like, man, they have some stuff in Denver and Colorado Springs, and the money's actually from Dallas. It's like a family office, but he runs it out of there. And he said that he's like, man, rates are gone up. These guys will pay whatever.
Yeah,
they'll pay whatever.
They will.
But then there's like no. They literally, when that thing first went off, they took every single space up there. You almost couldn't get any warehouse space, and then they had to like set up private like cash storage locations because I guess the banking system wouldn't.
They won't take it.
They won't bank. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
So how they running? Like how are they running credit card payments and stuff?
I don't know how they do it now. Honestly, what I thought was very interesting is I had a weed tenant. I had a building I was buying up there, and I had a weed tenant ready to lease it. And I was in the process of buying it, and I was talking to the weed tenant, and I go, "Do you have a bank account?" They go, "Yeah, it's over here at Alliance Bank."
Right.
Look them up. It's like a real bank. Hey, so your client that you bank wants to lease my building. Would you like to loan me money to buy the building? Oh, no, we can't loan on it because it's a weed tenant. I was like,
that's crazy.
You got to be kidding me.
Right.
Yeah. So it ended up becoming hard to finance. I found a bank that would do it. But a lot of challenges.
You can't just like distribution.
Yeah, no, it's
just a distribution business.
Little spoilage, get a little spoilage handout. So but I don't know, man. Like it just because it's not federally approved, everybody can't touch it, man. It just makes it tough. So I think if you need financing or you need insurance on a building, like they're probably not a fit for you.
And I'm assuming like I don't know, like in Denver and places, I don't know, just Prologis and like the institutional guys, will they touch that stuff?
I don't know, but there is a publicly traded REIT that focuses on marijuana buildings.
My brother-in-law used to own, it's gone to shit now, but they started stealth monitoring. I don't know if you've seen that on buildings. Like they own that company, and his dad started it. And he goes out to California, and he's like, man, I think I'm going out there. It sounds to me like maybe it's a manufacturing plant. He said it's like the biggest weed farm indoor, like in an industrial building. And he showed me photos. I'm like, oh my God. There's multiple layered, like they take the 30-foot clear and they put like the mezzanine catwalks and then just,
it's farmland.
Yeah, it's indoor vertical farmland.
Indoor grow.
Except it makes a lot more money than alfalfa or or whatever.
Yeah, no, I've been in. There's a building in Oklahoma City that's like 100,000-foot grow, and I was in it, and I was like, wow, this is insane.
Yeah, all the I know there's a lot of investment in that, and I think they passed that in Texas, like the THC 9 or Delta and all that stuff. I don't think the legislature knew that would actually intoxicate you.
Yeah,
and I think all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, we didn't know I don't think they knew what they passed when they passed it.
They might not have.
Well, I don't think they did.
I think that's Dan Patrick's whole thing. He's like, this stuff will make you crazy. Like, it'll kill you. And so
I don't quite understand it. I know they have to be under a certain, like when you're growing it, it's almost like hemp. It's got to be under a certain threshold, but how can you tell you can't?
I don't know.
And that's what they're doing in Oklahoma. They have that license, and then you're supposed to kind of like, hey, they keep the books. They don't give a shit.
No.
They can grow whatever they want.
Yeah, no, it's full on there. The only difference up there is it's still medical, but that's like such a joke. It's not rec. You can't just walk in. You got to have
okay.
You got to walk. You got to go to the doctor, and you got to probably get on a teledoc and be like,
I think you have to be a resident of Oklahoma.
Yeah, you probably do.
I don't think you can go.
I don't think you can drive across the border and.
Yeah, no, you can't be a Texas resident. I think probably Dan Patrick.
Yeah,
kept it that way.
Caught that loophole.
Yes.
No, we're not letting that happen.
Right.
So,
right.
No, it's So yeah, I've learned my lesson with weed buildings.
We had one very recently, like 2 weeks ago, and this poor owner, he's like, man, I don't care. Like his wife's sick, they have some medical bills, and he's like, we had a long-term tenant. This lady had been in there for, I don't know, like 15 years or something. And she finally just outgrew it and was moving out. And lo and behold, like literally the day she moves out, this broker never heard of brings in this guy, and I'll take it. That's like,
yeah,
you're like, dude, that's way too easy. And he's from California. I'm like, so what kind of business? I figured it was some sort of weed dispensary business or something. But who's, it's not none of my business,
Yeah.
And so the owner knew too, or, suspected. He's, oh, no, we're selling peptides. What's a peptide? And turns out he was in there, and then he got sick. He was there for like 2 or 3 months for like the free rent period or whatever. That, I think he paid like 1 month rent. Then I can't pay rent anymore. So I don't know what, but you go in there and it was like, yes, he was like, dude, you could just be honest about it. Like, instead of playing games and all that kind of shit. So
the day I closed on the studio in Commonwealth, before I closed, I went and checked every room, and I found a little weed farm.
There's
a lot of those.
Those bands are subleasing it there.
Yeah, I'd take a room back, and there'd all of a sudden be a false wall built, and
oh really?
I had a lot of people grow weed in there.
No shit.
So
I sold one down. It's the smallest building I probably ever sold. It was like a friend of a friend. They owned this building. I'm like, dude, just sell this thing. It's a hunk of shit, But you walk in there, I'm like, somewhere in this drop ceiling is a big ass bag of weed.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much you left the doors open or whatever, you walk in and it
smell it.
Oh yeah. I'm like, so I told the guy that ended up buying it. He was a Southwest Airlines pilot, and he and his buddies bought it literally just to work on their motorcycles. It's kind of down there, like behind the old post, behind the main post office, And I go, dude, when you go to demo, he was just going to blow the whole thing open. And I go, when you go into a demo, you're going to find a bag of weed somewhere.
Yeah.
Somewhere you're going to find it. He did, and sure as shit, he found it. He did.
Yep. No, the gaming guys were always funny too. They'd always walk in and take it. You're like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Stuff. And then next thing you know, you got a little mini casino up in your building.
I can show you some pictures. We had one on Black Gold.
Yeah.
The neighbors next door, I don't know, man, something's going on. Like, my people get here, it's Buddha juice next door. And they're like, hey, we get here in the morning, like they start at like 4 in the morning, like squeezing orange juice, whatever it is they do. So there's people like leaving that building.
Yeah.
Well, I told the tenant, it was a produce company. I said, man, I'm having trouble. It's like during COVID, I'm having trouble making rent and stuff. And I go, well, if you want to talk about it, like I could put a sign on it, we can try to sublease it. Oh, wait, I can sublease it? I said, well, yeah, we can, we'll if we find oh, okay, yeah. Don't hear from him. Well, he just fucking sublet it to a casino. So like inside the freezer vault, okay? Inside the blast door freezer vault, it was like it was all casino machines, and like, dude, no. And then the office portion, it appeared he had turned that into a brothel. I mean, it's very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
He goes, I go, dude, you can't be doing that. He goes, well, it's not me, it's the guy I sublet it to. I go, you can't sublet it for those uses, I got photos of it. It's absolutely hysterical, but yeah, they will.
It's funny, like, how
they act all shocked, like,
how do you get into like, hey, is there any warehouses we can go play slot machines in? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how does that happen?
I said, well, Vice Squad's already been called, and y'all need to get that stuff out of there. And so when I actually had called the Vice Squad, and they go, well, Mr. Blankinship, now that you're aware of it and the owner's aware of it, we're going to fine you. So I'm just trying to tell you what's going on in there. We didn't the city of Dallas, we're going to fine you if you don't get rid of that. They were there within about 30 minutes moving all those machines out, and it probably opened back up, another location. Somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that stuff now, because Dallas does have the resources, apparently a lot of that gets pushed out to the periphery and Benbrook, these smaller municipalities that don't have the kind of police force and don't have the Vice Squads and all the various things that Dallas has.
Well, if the Las Vegas Sands Corporation gets what they want, they're going to put a lot of these dudes under.
Yeah, sometimes I like to go gamble at the shithole,
Yeah, hey man.
I called Floyd Bates one day, and I was just out making cold calls like on Vantage or Monitor, one of those right by the Anatole. And I walk in a place and I see all these beer bottles and shit and guys like wandering around outside. And I go in there and it's an 8-liner or whatever. It's all slot machines. And a Asian guy behind the bar. And I don't really say much. I just kind of walk in, walk back out. I call Floyd. I go, you got like a gambling operation over there. He goes, Robert, it's they work on the 8-liners. They work on them like they're working on them in there, all right. He goes, no, Robert, they're just over there. No, they repair them. I said, okay. And I think Floyd owned that building. They had them out there, like that afternoon. And
oh, that's funny. It's funny how the police turned on you like that.
Well, I'm just trying to, get y'all. I just wanted y'all to come over here. Oh, no. Now that or you're aware of it, we're going to find the owner, and it's like significant fine.
So we had a building. We had a tenant on Motor Circle one time. They didn't pay rent, and so we went in. Jeff and I went in there to lock the doors, and the guy that ran the company goes, "Hey, so like technically you can't lock us out because we don't have a lease with you because we're a different company." And Jeff goes, "Sweet. So you're trespassing. Get the fuck out."
Yeah.
And they were like, "What?" We're like, "Get out." So we called the cops, and this cop comes over there. We're like, "Hey, they're trespassing in this space. They don't have any rights to it, and they're in here." And they're like, they're kind of like pleading their case. And I finally look at the cop. I go, "You need to criminally trespass these people so they can't come back." She was like, "You really want me to do that?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do." Mm-hmm. Like, that's the whole point. This one guy was walking out when Jeff was locking the doors up. He goes, "Can I go back and get my personal effects?" He goes, "Nope." The guy was like, "Oh."
So your brother called me one day. He goes, "Man, I think like the loan is coming up." That was when they had sold off, what was it? Triple something properties. I forget. Three-way
street, yeah.
That was Mark and your brother and Greg. And so I guess Mark and your brother decided they didn't want to do another tour of duty with Greg.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be managing and doing the leasing,
Yeah, it was.
And it was just like, those things needed a new roof. So that building, the buildings there on Motor Circle or, Medical District, whatever, they were like, literally, and your brother's like, "Man, I do not have time to mess with this." He goes, Here's the deal. I don't give a shit. He goes, "I want leases signed. Can you just go bring tenants?"
Yeah.
And I went and did, I think it was like 10 leases in a month over there.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit. He's like, "Just fill it up. We just need to get income because the taxes are due, and this and that, and it's coming up for refi. We'll just fill it up." So it was more fun. I just went through, and your brother's like, "I didn't give a shit if you signed the leases." He's like, "I don't care." He's like, "Just get them filled," And literally we filled the entire thing up, and we put, there's a overhead door guy, Bobby Huberger, on that back.
On the back far end.
Yeah, with the pit bull. With the pit bull at the lot.
Yep.
And then you had the guy across the way that did forklift training or something.
Yes.
And I'll go down there and he's like, "Man, this guy's like flipped his shit." He was butt naked up on top of the building.
Yes. He went crazy.
Yes.
He went crazy.
Yes. I forget what that guy's name was. Oh my God. Dude.
I remember that. We were like, what?
And
like,
Corky was in there, like a frame guy.
Yeah. And then we had Chris, the mercenary.
Yes.
From CrossFit. CrossFit Chris. He actually texted me the other day. He goes, "Hey, is this Jeremy?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I was just going through numbers. How you doing?" So
is he over at Shorecrest?
No, he's living in California doing private security for a CEO. He worked at Blackwater.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so he was in the military and then was at Blackwater.
And he was doing CrossFit out of there?
Yeah, he's just
I remember
a CrossFit gym.
I think I may have put him in there.
Yeah.
But that was like, it's just fun to cut that many deals. Your brother's just like, and it can't be less. He's like, "Give me as much as you can."
Yeah.
2-year term, fine.
Yeah.
Make sure it's just got to be over like $6 or whatever it was. It was fun. He just let me kind of go to town on it.
I think one of the deals you cut in this time frame was the Artifacts deal. Was it Artifacts?
Well, not Cork. He's a gay guy. I remember he was a pain in the butt.
Oh, dude.
I remember him.
So I got into it bad with
That was
him.
before your brother wanted to sell it.
Yes. So this is a very interesting.
I think Lee Richter or somebody.
So
lady ripped him.
This is a learning lesson. This is an understanding lesson right here on real estate. This is kind of interesting. So when I went to sell Motor Circle, we're under contract with Stream.
Yeah.
And we're doing estoppels for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to Artifacts and we start to do their estoppel. And Artifacts says,
Russell.
Hey, yeah, that's right, Russell.
That's right, Russell, yeah.
And he says, y'all didn't properly HVAC the air conditioning, the warehouse. I go, I was not involved in any of that. What do you mean? Well, it just doesn't get cool enough. So I go back to Jeff. Hey, this guy won't sign the estoppel. He goes, well, here's what happened. Here's the lease. This is the agreement of what we'd said we would put in the space. And that's what we did. So I go back over there to Russell. I'm like, hey, man, so here's your lease, right? Yeah. And here's the work that the landlord agreed to do.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, yeah. I go, did we do this? Yes, but it's not good enough. I go, is that your signature right there? Yes. What are we talking about, bro? Anyways, he was very defiant about it. So go back again. Jeff, I'm like, hey, this guy ain't signing this estoppel. So in leases, landlords have the right to sign your estoppel for you if you do not sign it.
Correct.
And so we went to Jamie Jennings because he was kind of running point on the transaction. We're like, hey, this guy's
Extreme, yeah.
okay, this guy's giving us a bunch of shit. He's not going to sign this thing. We got one more tactic we're going to try, but then you should probably expect to get this one signed by us. He goes, hey man, it's whatever. Like we'll deal with it. And so I go back in there with a $2,500 check and the estoppel. I said, hey man, you need to sign this. If you sign it, I'm gonna give you $2,500 right now. I go, but if you don't want to sign this right now, I'm gonna walk out of here with this check
and I'll sign it.
And I'm gonna sign your estoppel, and you ain't getting this check.
Right.
He wouldn't sign it. So then 4 hours later, I get this fax. We had a fax at that time. We got a fax from him. This is estoppel all fucking marked up. So I just
throw that shit in the back.
Signed it and sent it on.
I don't remember if it was that one, but he had some lawyer, and he was such a pain in the butt, you know.
I could imagine.
And Jeff goes, hey, let's get on a call with him real quick, or his lawyer. And so we got a lawyer and Russell. I think his name was Russell. Jeff goes, here's the thing. He goes, you get 10 changes that I'm not saying I'm going to agree to them. We don't give a shit. You get 10 changes. So use them wisely. Yeah. Click.
Yeah.
Send me a revised, count or whatever.
They bloodied the lease up.
Like, dude, this is
just rewrote it.
It's like a 4,000 square foot lease. We're not going to spend legal time and all this. Yeah. And like, it's a NACAR form. You get 10 changes that we will consider.
Yeah.
So use them wisely.
Yeah.
I've used that one. Like, it's just like, dude, come on. Like
that's his go-to when that happens.
I like that.
So I've seen him use that numerous times.
I've used that multiple times.
It works though.
It does.
It's like, hey, like this is stupid. Pick like what really matters and let's get this over with.
Because the lawyers will just go back and forth for ever and ever and ever,
So, well, okay. So this is something I like to always ask on here.
Okay.
What's your most awkward or funniest or just embarrassing cold call you ever made? Like we've always all gotten these kind of situations. So,
oh God, I have to think. See, one of they're kind of related. So I walked into, I forget they sold silk flowers on right next to where Jarrett's and William and Wesley was. Like on that same,
and
I go in there and I'm sitting there talking to the owner, and he was a gay gentleman, and I was talking to him. And as I'm talking to him, I see this picture like over his back behind him. I'm like, God, or that lady looks familiar. It's an old granny. I assumed it was his mother or something. And I'm sitting there talking to him. Yeah. Asking him, oh, y'all own this? Yeah. Okay. And then it dawns on me. This whole woman in the photo, the old lady sitting there drinking tea on the front porch, is in fact the guy I'm talking to, just dressed up as drag, like I guess on the weekend or something.
Oh,
I was like, holy, yeah. I was like,
oh man.
Well, each to their own. Each to their own, you know.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. I went down to Design District and I didn't last very long.
No,
and so
you don't have the patience for it, man.
Kudos to you, man.
Right,
you stuck it out, and you. I think after the first week I was in Design District, I went back to Jeff's office. I go, can I have Redbird? Like, that's probably more my style.
right. We go either north or south of the Design District.
Yeah. So
I like the work live stuff and like cleaning up those old buildings and being part of that. And it's just kind of neat to see where that thing's going to go and where it's where it's been and but yeah, it's gotten so expensive. It's just crazy.
We bought a building last year in Design District, not Matador, but Jeff bought one, and I bought it with him and a couple of us.
The one on Slocum?
Yeah. So,
from Amir or whatever.
Yeah, the Feisey.
Yes.
Feisey
You
Road.
already sold it, right?
No, we just leased half of it. And
Feisey, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Our thought on that deal is like,
they get that hotel cleaned up. It's going. I hold on to it.
Yeah, no. I for us, I think it's a 15-year play.
Yeah, just hold it.
I think at some point, and we have all the
the land.
We have all the land in the back.
Yes.
So if we can get all that figured out, we've got parking. We've got a building with parking, and at that point, you just.
I mean, dude,
it could be like a restaurant
with Cuban and the Mavs, and then the hotels, and then Chase is working with the Greyhound. It's getting demolished right now, and they think it's worth a fortune. That'll be a development site. Vipin and all those guys. I mean,
no, I'm excited.
It's only going to go up.
And then those guys that are redeveloping is, I guess, Oaklawn Design Center or whatever.
Trada or whatever.
Yeah, some group out of Florida, New York, and they're putting like $165 a foot into their remodel, and I mean that's just a little less than what we paid for the building. So
I think they're going to turn around and go, man, we probably should just scrape this instead of or done. They're kind of doing a hybrid version. What's funny is just was renegotiating a lease on Dragon, and the broker used that as a comp. Wait, you're talking about the old 14, the big mud pit construction site? You're using that as a comp? It's under construction. I know they haven't signed any lease. Well, they're going to be asking $60 a foot. So we're only asking 30. So that's like a deal. That's a 50% discount. You can't use that as a goddamn comp, Like, I like trying to go sell my Ford, and they're like, well, that Ferrari sold for $200K.
One day.
One day.
Yeah, one day this Ford's going to go up.
Right.
So what's like your most memorable or unique deal that you pulled off?
I would say probably the most, well, two. They're kind of the same owner, just so the Chewbacca NAFTA Traders deal.
Yeah.
Never thought that guy would sell, and start working with Cantex. Chase was like, will they sell? I'm like, I don't know, let's see. And I never thought that deal would get done, and it was a beating.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal,
Was that a lease back?
They did it was a sale lease back on, I'll call it 400,000 feet or so. They didn't lease back the whole thing. We had Suncoast at the end and Arbor Carpet in the middle, but they occupied, 270 or something, and then you had another 100 that tenants had. And man, that was fun, Did that one. Prior to that, when I first met the principal at NAFTA, I called on them for years and years, and I always thought that Tracy, who was Tracy, I always thought he was like the decision maker, but he's just the GM or whatever. But he kind of acted like that to shield people. Well, it turns out like the Mark, the owner of the business, he'd been listening to me call from Tracy for years and years. So he finally calls. He went to White with, like, everybody knows Mark Miller, you know?
Yeah.
He goes, hey, I think this guy works with y'all. Do y'all know Robert Blankinship? He's like, yeah, absolutely. And so then all Mark had to do is be like, yeah, just talk to him. And then we, you know, I've been helping them, you know, work with them ever since. But so I think it was that Suncoast deal at the end. I mean, dude, we cut a good deal. We had them pave all that with their post-tension poured. Basically, we got to spec, and you could like have like an asteroid hit that, and it's not gonna, it won't even, it just bounce right off of it. You know, it was like the most expensive concrete pour probably in that part of town.
Yeah. But
anyway, so, you know, we get down to like kind of the nut cutting. We're going back and forth on the lease with all the lawyers, and it was a pretty big deal. And there was nothing there. So there was like a big, we had to negotiate the finish out and all the office and who's doing this and the contract. It's so I'm driving around and I see behind the building there on, not Lackawanna, but right over there. Yeah, it's the two brothers that have like, it's like a marketing company. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But
Mecca?
Mecca, yeah.
So Quebec and
so I see that shoe I see that shoe on the trailer.
Yeah.
And I thought, dude, I'm going to use that as some leverage.
Yeah.
So I know somebody that would probably like that shoe. So I walk in there and talk to, was it Kevin or
Kenneth?
Kenneth, yeah. So I go, dude, would y'all sell that shoe? It's like, oh, I'd talk to my brother. I mean, maybe. It had like Luigi's Pizza. You know, they would like lease it out for marketing.
Yeah, it's huge.
But it was in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, okay.
That's where they got it. I think they had it out at the Las Colinas Studios or something. Anyway, so I keep following up. I'm like, hey, what about the shoe, man? I'd like to get that shoe. He goes, all right. I talked to my brother. They didn't think I was serious. Man, we let it go for like $1,500. And I was like, or $2,000. I go, how about $1,500? I think we settled like $1,700 or something, you know? So then I go to George. I go, hey, man, here's what I'm trying to do. Will y'all split? Will the company split the $1,700? And he's like, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So I go get the shoe, hook it up to my truck because it was on the trailer. So I bought the trailer, the shoe, the Facebook page, and it had a PA system up in it. I shit you not, it had a PA system. So you know, get that. I hook it up, drive it down the street, and I take a photo of it. And I go, hey, Mark, you know, I go, do you have any interest in this shoe? He goes, hell yeah, I've actually tried to buy that for years. But, you know, like they kept dicking me around. I go, I own it. I'll give it to you. You know, so every time he get difficult with the lease, I'm like, dude, do you want the fucking shoe or not?
Yeah.
Because you're about to lose the shoe. Fuck this deal. You're about to lose the shoe. You know, Mark, like, let's keep our eye on the prize. He's like, and so it's always kind of been a joke. So then Mark, you know, we get the deal done. I'm like, no, you're not getting the shoe till the deal's like executed and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So we get it done, drop off the shoe, and he's like, well, he goes, do you know where I could take this to like get my logo and get it? Because it was rough, man. It'd been sitting outside.
Yeah. It's just sitting on the corner of their building.
Right. It was like a little teeny stack lot there on the corner. And I go, well, I think that's what those Mecca guys do where I bought it. I'll call them, you know. So he calls back, ends up being like 50 or 60 grand to refurb the thing with the shoebox, like the logo. Yeah. And then they take that to the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah.
And all over like a big marketing thing. And so that's kind of a fun story. Or, you know,
that's
just kind of
awesome.
a creative way to get it done. And I guess it's pretty memorable for me.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, I mean, I've driven past that shoe 10,000 times.
Like who's going to want like that? If you went and built that, I mean, God knows what that thing would cost.
Oh, yeah.
But dude, it had, like, you could stand up in it. It had stage in, like, the shoe part of it. The final product, it was unbelievable. It had, like, it looked like it was brand new. It had, like, almost like a shine to it. Like, it was a real, like, shined up shoe. It was unbelievable. The shoelaces and everything.
So, where's it now? Is it out in California?
No, it's in their warehouse there on Wildwood or on Pioneer. Yeah. It's back there somewhere, I'm sure.
Golly.
Oh yeah, they like wrapped a F-250 or something to pull it with, and you know, entered all sorts. They even got he's died. The guy that played Chewbacca in Star Wars.
Yeah, you know, he lived in Granbury, right?
Yeah, he was actually from here. They like somehow tracked him down and were like, or his agent, or like, hey, do you want to do this? Well, all expenses paid, and we'll pay.
Yeah.
And he's a very tall, gangly guy. It wasn't like movie props to show he was really tall. He was very tall.
Yeah.
And I think he died a couple years ago. But it was kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good story, man. Here's something I like to ask. Was there a specific setback or failure that you learned from that, kind of helped you down the road? Anything like that?
Well, I mean, I'm no stranger to losing deals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, I think I've, especially early on, I even find myself doing it now, like falling into like the friend zone or the friend trap. And it's like, man, you really need to realize like they can use whoever they want.
Yeah.
They don't have to use you. They don't have to use anybody really.
Yeah.
And, you need to be like professional and like, I like people to like me. I like to be friendly with people, but you got to realize that the opposing person's personality.
Yeah.
If you're doing that like with George Dutter, who's like a bean counter, more of an accounting personality, like I can go hang out with my friend, so that's how I kind of learned on that, and like never trust that the thing's done. Like always be kind of paranoid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like somebody could come in and F this thing up real quick, or show another option. It's just time kills the deal, and get it done. I had a guy literally, God, what was his name? Do you remember Vivint Leverset?
Yes.
He had the big building on Spring Valley, and he also had the ones on was it Valdina?
Yep.
So he's like, he would go, like kind of knock off jewelry. Then you talk about the American dream. That guy came here with nothing, and he was the biggest jewelry, not fine jewelry, but it was like whatever stones and he you work hard, and so I got his business, and we sold the one on the corner of Wycliffe, and then he had the one at the opposing end of the street, and trying to sell that. And it was like a huge deal to me. Yeah. And I'll talk to you when I get back. He was like going to Thailand or Indonesia for like 2 or 3 weeks because he had a factory over there. And I'm like, dude, no, we got to get this done. Like this is not going to wait 2 weeks. And, so I go, he's like, well, I'm already at the airport. I'm like, DFW? I'll be there.
Yeah.
So I haul ass out to DFW, and he was already in, I guess after 9/11. So he was already in like the secured area. So I get there, buy a ticket. I don't give a shit where it's going. I spent like $500-600 just to get in the terminal.
Yeah.
And he then met me there, signed the thing, get it done. It was already signed by the buyer.
Yeah.
Get the thing executed, and then I just get the hell out of there. And it's just like, dude, let's just get this shit done.
Yeah. And
then that way we got the title company that day, and then I killed 2 weeks, you're already burning it off. So I guess time kills deals.
No, it does. That's there's not a truer statement. People just lose interest, right? When things take forever,
right.
Like when a deal starts coming together, like everybody, it gets frothy, right? So it's a little frothy. So like you gotta like you let the froth go away. Like there's
no if there's no like set timeline, you're like, oh, I'll do it when I get back. No, dude, no, like let's keep the urgency going up, keep the level going. So
totally. If you didn't do real estate, what would you have pursued? What'd you want to be when you were a little kid?
Man, like I've always been fortunate. Like I like when I was real little, I thought I was be a doctor.
Yeah.
Maybe I'd do that. And then I realized what that would entail. And it also, I wasn't great at school. I was like a B, C type student,
Yeah.
But I'd probably try to like be in the car, because you can print money doing that, like some type of car or heavy machinery.
Yeah.
I've always thought that'd be cool. Manufacturing's kind of like, now that I'm older, I'm fascinated by it, and like just the logistics of building things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like some type of car business or airplane sales.
Yeah.
I knew they like rotate them through, but the guy that ran Bombardier, he was like their top sales guy, and seeing him operate and listening to him all the time, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy, you know. That guy, God knows how much money he made over the years selling. You know, instead of, I think if you're going to sell something that's expensive, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like, there's just more money trading hands, and you know, commercial real estate's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So are Learjets.
Yeah.
And they're liquid. People trade and sell them all the time.
Sure.
So I'd probably do that, you know. That always kind of interests me.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, this is always a fun one. What's something about you that most people don't know? Can be anything.
That most people don't know. Probably that I play guitar and can sing, and I like writing songs as well.
Oh.
Yeah. We'll have to collaborate.
Why don't we play a show together?
I can come on as like a guest singer or whatnot.
A little opening act.
Like a little opening act, get them warmed up, you know?
Yeah.
Get them warmed up. Now, I like to, I'm actually a pretty good writer. My dad was a technical writer.
Oh, yeah.
And it always amazed me. I had so what years were you at Tech?
I was 97 through 2001.
Okay. So we did overlap because I graduated high school in 99. So I'd been there 99 through 2005 at school. So I had a recurring, I wrote an op-ed. Then they hired me to write an op-ed, and I got paid, I think it was $60 a week for the Tech. What was the Red Raider, the Matador?
The Torador. The Torador or something like that is what it's called. I know
the Daily Express or the Daily anyway, the school newspaper.
Yeah.
So I had a reoccurring, and please God, don't go look up those articles if you can still find them because they're probably poorly written and you know, but it was an opinion piece in the paper every Wednesday, and I had my photo, you know, because on the opinion piece they would have your photo, so people would always like look at me like, how the fuck do I know this guy?
Yeah.
You know? And I wrote about the business school and basically like kind of how that was when they first started, you know, they were first going online. So you would pay for the class to have in person. And like, I remember like our, what is it? Statistics, you know, like what are the chances you think I'll pass this class? But first day he goes, well, I know y'all signed up for this. He's like, I got a great opportunity though. Oxford has a fellowship and I'll be in England or something. So I've put them all online. I'm like, why am I paying? Are we getting discounted?
Yeah.
You know, there's no proctor, no teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know? So that kind of, I think I just submitted something and then the head of it called me, you know, hey, we're actually going to publish that. I need you to sign this or whatever. And hey, man, would you like to just do a reoccurring one? Well, sure. So what in high school did you write? I said, I've never written an art, you know. I was just pissed off and I think this is not right, you know. Yeah. And so I did that for about a year and a half or so. And then they stopped, I guess they were pushing back, you know, it's censorship. The university was like, man, we don't want that stuff out there. And then they were like throttling, like what, you know, like basically rewriting my articles.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, y'all pay me $30, you know, a month or something to write these, you know. So I kind of gave that up and focused on graduating, getting the hell out of there and getting into real estate. So
that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
So it probably helps you as a songwriter and writing songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's just good to like put your thoughts together and it's just hard. You got to be quiet. You know, you got to have the time to do it.
You got to have the time to do it. It's never worked for me. I'm not much of a lyricist or anything. I'm really good at writing the riffs, like the music. I can hear
like the arrangements.
Yeah, I can hear the arrangement, the music, and all that stuff in my head. And like I'm like, I hear how this wants to go, and like you know, it's like so when I was an Envoy Tuesday night, we're tracking a bunch of demos that we're gonna because we're recording an album. It's like you know, for lyrics, I read like a book, you know, just to like,
just to fill it in.
Just to fill it in. And then I was like, hey, I got a vocal pattern in my head, but like, it's great because I don't want to do that anyway. So I'm like, you know, I'll just send that to Todd and
I did not know Todd.
Todd will have like.
But Todd's not officially in the band, right?
Are you his agent? Are you?
I can be. I'm gonna have to call him after this.
And so, so I sent it to Todd or Micah, and I'm just like, hey. Then they'll pull out a song and be like, that's
really cool.
That's what I hear with that. And they have like 200 songs written.
No kidding.
And so, so it's good for me because I just, I just want to focus on writing the music.
So do people how do they pick them up? Like a, big name acts? How do they pick, like how Elton John and whatever is Bernie or whatever the guys say, Bernie had made more money than Elton.
Yeah.
Because it's just amazing how they just write them like that. How does that even work?
I don't know. We don't have agents yet. So we don't make any, we're still trying to hit over 1,000 listens on Spotify.
Well, after we get out of here, I'll get you another one.
Take a listen. So,
yeah, man.
No, so it's
what is the band name?
Trinity Junction.
Trinity Junction. I like that.
So
Jeremy and them.
Yeah. So it started off with me and Jason and Jimmy. Okay. And Jason and Jimmy are brothers.
JJJ.
Yeah, 3 J's. We all grew up in Todd's first name. Actually Justin.
That's right, Justin. Yeah.
And so we all grew up in Irving playing football at the Trinity River bottoms, like growing up near the Trinity River. So it's Trinity Junction.
So y'all didn't grow up in Graham?
No, we grew up in Irving.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I always thought y'all were from Graham.
Jeff and I's football career is literally held on the other side of the levee. That's where it started.
So
Jeff signed his letter of intent to college.
To
Rice on those fields.
No shit.
Yeah.
Huh. So. My friend teaches at Irving, and I actually took my son to the Jesuit football game. They were playing Irving.
Yeah.
I could not believe it. Like, there was not a single, maybe there's 2 parents on the Irving side. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe. I mean, typically you're going to have the cheerleaders' parents and like the pom-pom girls' parents and drill team.
It's terrible.
And then at least the parents of the kids playing football, they show up. Not a single parent was in that stand.
No.
Like, how the hell can that be?
It's a sad state of affairs for sure. I think Irving might have won 1 football game in the last 3 or 4 years.
Really?
2 years ago. Listen, this is a cumulative.
Once they lost to Mercer boys, it's been downhill.
It's been tough go. No, so Irving 2 years ago, Irving High went 0-10. Irving Nimitz went 1-9 with their only victory against Irving High.
Beating themselves.
Irving MacArthur went 2-8 with their only 2 victories against Irving High and Irving Nimitz.
What's the deal?
I don't know.
I mean, you'd figure like those first games you play Little Sisters of the Poor,
I had.
Are they 6A?
Yeah, they're 6A, and we were always like in Duncanville's district and stuff like that. So I mean, it's
there's probably like 4A or 5A there.
But I mean, there's no booster club anymore, right? The parents don't participate. Like it's. So I don't know. I don't know what it needs, man. But it's.
Well, from my place down there in Ennis, out the back garage, you can see the big ass stadium there. Have you ever seen the football stadium at Ennis?
No.
It's probably like bigger than SMU's. There are colleges that don't have. I mean, it's a big deal, and you could probably rob any house down there on a Friday night,
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it is a big goddamn deal down there. That stadium is unbelievable for a high school. And I think they're either 5A or maybe
it's like Prosper, 4. Man. That's we got a $50 million stadium, and I've seen it completely sold out. 15,000 people in it.
Jesus,
like it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how many it holds. I've been to like 1 game down there.
Yeah,
but
So yeah, no. Irving is
what did y'all play? If I had to guess, Jeff was probably like a linebacker, maybe.
Yep, he was.
Or I would say either that or like a fullback.
Jeff was a linebacker.
Were you fullback?
I was a center, actually. I used to be 285 pounds.
No way.
Yeah.
Huh. I would never guess that.
I was 265 coming out of high school, and after my freshman year at Tech, I got up to 285.
See, I was pushing 3 bills too.
Yeah.
I played, lacrosse out there.
Yeah.
And it was just like Big 12. You go down to Austin and raise hell and go play games and tournament stuff. And you could eat whatever the fuck you wanted because you're running 10 miles a day or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I also had a little side business, kegerator. I would make kegerators.
Yeah.
the Wilkersons when you'd buy a refrigerator at Sears,
Yeah.
They kept them in their warehouse. They'd go get your old one and then swap them out, bring you the new one. Well, I had an unlimited supply of refrigerators.
You had inventory.
I had plenty of inventory.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what can I do with these? I asked, can I take some of these? We're going to throw them away. We just store them out there because we don't take the Freon out. So I had an unlimited supply of old refrigerators that most of them still worked.
Yeah.
And so I bought kits, and I'd always have a running ad in the paper.
Yeah.
That would actually offset the money that they paid me for my little article. I would just give it right back to them, and I'd have and these freshmen, kids, I would sell it with the keg. So I always had a cold keg at my house.
Yeah.
And dude, you just get fat as shit.
Yeah.
My biggest, I was like 265.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, I got to 285, and I was the strongest I ever was. I mean, but you
weren't fat?
I was in a Division I. I was playing football at Tech.
God damn.
And so I was like,
I did not know that. You were jacked.
So my position coach that recruited me, he left before I got there. And the guy that came, I was a smaller interior lineman, right? So the guy that came in was like, hey, everybody's got to get above 315. I was like, dog, that ain't happening.
No.
I ain't doing that.
I can't believe you were 285.
I was a big kid.
So you were there with Leach?
No, I was there with Spike. Leach, I was done after I played my freshman and sophomore year, and then
I see.
My ankle disintegrated pretty much.
So, I remember Spike Dykes, his kind of playlist was dive right, dive left. I'm like, dude, maybe we need to go to the air every now and again, you know? And then I think Leach came in my sophomore year.
So it's funny. I had dinner probably about a month or two ago with Rick Dykes. Rick was our offensive coordinator.
I remember that.
And I was with two of my old teammates, and we had dinner with Coach Dykes. And I go, hey, Coach, you probably don't remember me. My number and position changed every week depending on the scheme of the other team we were playing. right. He looked at me and goes, that's pretty funny.
Right.
So, but yeah, no, I just lifted.
Do you still go out there?
Yeah, I go out there a lot, actually. I just actually got I got one of those Loge boxes in the south end zone. We went last year and sat in one. I was like, this is badass. So I just got one, and Devin works for us now, and he was a teammate of mine. His son's on the team right now. So
that's cool.
So he goes out there, and so yeah, no, we're starting to raise a lot of equity out of Midland and Lubbock, so that's where a lot of our money comes from.
Our friend, the writers, my wife's best friend, so we always got to go. We would be on the student side in the parking lot.
Yeah. But
he had a box on the west side, but he had these two badass tailgate spots on the student entrance side, and it was just like, it was so much fun,
Yeah.
And then they adopted a boy, and they're like, we don't want to raise him in Dallas and keeping up with the Jones, so they went to Lubbock, and bought the Chancellor's house right there on 19th and like Boston or something. It fronts, 19th. Beautiful. And Tech screwed him so bad. They knew it had asbestos. He thought it was a deal.
Yeah.
And they absolutely broke it off at him. And he's like, F that, I'm not giving him another nickel. Now he lives out there, So he got rid of the box. He got rid of the parking and, everything. So it's back to being plebeians. But we go out for like one game or so a year.
Yeah. Well, this is...
next time I'm out there, I'll have to go sit in your box up there.
Yeah. It's not like it's a Loge box. So it's like it's
open air.
It's open air.
But you have access to the...
Yeah.
So, and they let you drink in there now. So
yeah, no, it's great. It's fun. It's been really good. A teammate of mine has taken over the Double T Varsity Club, and so like all of us kind of I talk to all my old roommates again now because I lived with a bunch of football guys for a long time.
Okay.
And so we all kind of we all converse now again. So it's cool. It's and they have like a real tailgate for us now, all that stuff. And so I go there and see a lot of my old buddies and stuff like that. So it's fun.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's fun. Exciting to see what happens this year. So
yeah, I don't know what's the.
We should win the Big 12 with what we spent in the portal. So
really,
if we don't, we'll be disappointed. So
so we have Like, why would you even go recruit anymore? You just like let them go freshman year and be like, man, that guy's really good. You know what? I'll pay you an extra $5,000. Come over here to Tech.
Well, I mean, like honestly, for high school players, I think if you're not an absolute stud, like it's probably pretty bleak for you. So yeah,
but do they regardless of position, don't they pay everybody on the team the same?
Yeah, everybody gets
like
well,
$25,000.
Not the same, but yes, everybody does get paid.
Huh.
So
I thought they had to pay everybody the same, but
no. It's
going to get where like UT and some of these really big booster places are just it's what a couple $100,000 a kid or like it's crazy.
It's more than that already.
Is it really?
Oh yeah. So what's going to happen is they've moved to a revenue sharing system now where you have a salary cap now going forward.
I didn't know that.
You have $20.5 million to pay all your sports. So obviously football and men's basketball are going to get the majority of that. So football is going to get like 15 to 16 million bucks. So and then it'll be allocated based on position, right? Like your quarterback's going to get paid more, your left tackle's going to get paid more. So it's going to, so it'll.
When Tech went and the basketball went to the final game and unfortunately lost with Virginia or I forget.
Right,
Anyway, we went to a football game. They already had before the start of the next football game, the men's it's like, man, that thing just gives you an idea how much money going to the Final Four or the final game and how many shirts and all that merchandise stuff you sell.
Yeah, it's a business. It's a real business.
They always are going to have a leg down though because, it's West Texas out in Lubbock.
I don't know, man. We got like the #1 portal class.
That's crazy. I'm so glad. I want them to be good.
The new facilities.
Oh, I've heard it's unbelievable.
I went and toured them when I was out there, and it's unbelievable. There's no excuse now. Like we have the players. Here's the thing: it's not going to be Texas Tech where it's like the old Wes Welker white scrappy guy anymore. Like those days are gone.
Yeah,
it's going to be the dude. Like is at each position. So it's So hey, we're just doing what everybody's been doing illegally forever. So
just on top of the table instead of under it.
So well, man, this was really fun. I'm glad we got to do this.
Absolutely, man.
That was great. It's always been a pleasure working with you, man. So I'm glad we got to come in here and do this. And so,
well, thank you for the invite. And I appreciate you.
Yeah. Robert Blankinship, everyone. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Jeremy.